Let's talk about lighting in After Effects. I have this scene with this simple text, and I have a ground, which is very important so I can cast the shadow on it. The way to create a light would be either from Layer, New, and then you create light. You can see here the shortcut also, which I always use. Or if you want, you can also click here. So Control-Alt-Shift-L is the shortcut for lighting, creating a light. Let's go with a point light. It's kind of easier to kind of demonstrate with a point light. Spotlight is also like useful and kind of good. I'm gonna go with a regular color, but you can change whatever color you want to add, and you can change the intensity. By default, the lights don't have the cast shadow active, so you want to make sure that you activate that if you need to have some shadows. And you can see instantly here you have some sort of like a much nicer look of the scene with some illumination, right? So even though my light does have shadow on it, the problem here in terms of like why am I not seeing shadow is that the text itself also by default does not cast shadow. So in order for me to get that text to cast shadow, I would need to go into I need to unfold this, and you need to keep in mind that we only see the cast shadow option when we have the text or the objects in the 3D mode, because only then do we have access to the material options. So in the material options, you go into the cast shadow and you just click, and now you have the shadow on. You can also go into the light here, and you double click on the light to get the options here, and you can increase the diffusion of that light, and you can see it's a little bit more diffused now, which is kind of nice. And just to make things look better here, I'm just gonna go and duplicate that light, and I'm gonna push it all the way here so I can see the face of that 3D text rather than like super dark kind of colors. Let me just go and put this on full screen here. So this is how we work with the lights. You can also try and work with like parallel lights or spotlights. That's something you can definitely experiment with. You can also have some fall off as well. That's something you can work with. Also, one last thing I want to mention is that a shortcut that is useful is that if you want to go into the material options right away, you can hit AA. So in there you can see all of these options rather than unfolding the whole thing, including the text transform, just to get to the material options. So AA, you click AA rapidly, and that's going to give you the material options.